Support local breweries.
In hops we trust.
Today on In House We Trust, we're heading to Tennessee Brew Works in Nashville. Here they've been brewing since 2013, with the sole mission to create high-quality craft beers that pay homage to the land, traditions, and culture of Tennessee. They're also serving up some delectable food that is inspired and created with their beer. So let's get finely tuned at Tennessee Brew Works. I'm sitting down with Matt Simpson, the head brewer here, Christian Spears, the founder and owner of Tennessee Brew Works, and Thomas Gingrich, the sales head here. Every beer has a story, right?
Yeah.
So I want to talk about some of the stories behind the artwork, some of the stories that inspired the recipes themselves.
We say finely tuned craft beer. It's certainly a play on words with Nashville and beyond. It's Tennessee history. Each one of these beers is going to tell a little bit of a story about Tennessee.
The pictures on here, do you base those on people you know?
When we started working with Bryce over at Isle of Printing, we went down this road of let's create, you know, some fictional characters and see kind of where that goes. And then, you know, we saw an opportunity to really kind of pay homage to the people that make this beer work.
Let's be honest, the King Chestnut is Matt if he was a hipster.
Yep.
That's what they said on TV.
This is the longest I've ever gone into a shoot without drinking something.
Yeah.
So if I was going to try a beer on this side.
You got to ask the brewer.
Man,
Man. You got the head brewer here.
There's no more King Chestnut around.
Oh.
So I've been like drooling into my mask looking at that six-pack. So
We say we share some King Chestnut. How about that?
well, that wouldn't be a bad place to start.
Sounds good to me.
If we drink one of each beer,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's going to be a fantastic interview.
All right, let's get weird.
It's only freaky the first time.
Cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers.
Oh, yeah.
The thing that I like about the King Chestnut is that I think it offers something completely different than what you see a majority in the market. Just the overly roastiness, that nice nuttiness, but it's all balanced through.
You guys have a beer that you infuse beet with. You have a beer that you infuse sweet potato with. Talk about that. Where did that come from?
Definitely some of the adjuncts that we've added into beers over the years have brought out some polarizing responses. Some of the ones that you don't see up here are not up here for a reason.
He's talking about our cucumber saison.
One of the ones that we had up here, or that we did brew, I thought it was fantastic.
I liked it too.
I would literally have people stand there and say, "This is the most wonderful thing I have ever tried. Where can I get this?" While the person standing next to them at a beer festival is literally turning their glass over, giving a thumbs down and saying, "Stop." But a lot of the things that we bring into play are, you know, indigenous to Tennessee.
Oh yeah, the beet beer.
Yeah, exactly.
Got to get our beat on.
It's another beer that you would expect it to be polarizing, but it is not.
The kind of fruit forward flavors from the beets kind of turns into kind of a mixed berries, red berries.
I'm starting to get that now.
Yeah.
And once it's a year old, I mean, it's a berry bomb.
How about your 1927?
It's a 7.5% IPA, so it's more like a double IPA.
I always laugh every single time somebody asks if 1927 is a reference to the beer that people were drinking back in 1927, forgetting the fact that it's smack dab in the middle of Prohibition. So if they were drinking beer, I'll guarantee you it was nowhere close to this delicious. But 1927 is the year that Mabel Carter, AP Carter, they started doing some of the recordings over in Bristol with the Bristol sessions. And so that's kind of a little bit of an obscure nod to that history.
Let's go to Extra Easy. What's the story behind Extra Easy?
That is a super traditional English style, extra special bitter, or like English style pub ale.
And I can't tell you how many people try it. If you just get them past the name, extra special bitter. Oh, I don't like bitter beers. Well, it's not a bitter beer.
That's why we refer to it as our English pub ale.
Yeah.
Now, one of our crew is an upstanding English gentleman himself, and he said this is the closest to an authentic ESB he's ever had in the States.
Except it's better than most of the ones across the pond.
You hear that? Did you hear that?
Couple of questions for you, ladies. Ever wonder what IPA stands for? What makes a sour beer sour? If you want these answers and more, check out Beard Broads. The Broads are back and better than ever in a revamped, retooled, and reloaded new show. They're here to educate you on all things beer. Not only will they be bringing in female guests from the craft industry, but they'll be featuring women from all walks of life and careers. They will be sitting down in the bar at Ambassador Studios, learning about and tasting all different styles of beer. Keep up with the Broads on Instagram and watch all of their episodes in the Beard Broads playlist on the In Hops We Trust YouTube channel. Cheers, Broads.
Well, we should try another beer.
I think that's a great idea.
What do you want to try? Want to
Want to go big?
go Country Roots?
Go big or go home. Yes.
Country Roots is a sweet potato stout. You know, you roast them, it's creating a bunch of unfermentable sugars, and it really kind of creams out the stout. So if you're not into sweet potatoes, don't worry. Just drink it, it'll be fine. And it just creates a real nice, lovely.
I was going to say, it definitely doesn't have an overpowering taste.
It's not too strong. You can drink a few of them without tipping over.
And the face on the beer.
That's Hank Delvin Jr. He's the proprietor of Delvin Farms down in Williamson County. He also supplies us with our beets for the Farmer's Beet. It helps tell a great story.
Yeah,
you know,
right? Absolutely.
It's such a great segue into, tell me a little bit more about what's going on with the beer.
So let's talk about the basil Ryman.
Sure.
It's a subtle nod, you know, the Ryman, but it's made with rye and Thai and traditional sweet basil. And the face on the beer, that's Andy. That's our lead brewer. He has been with me since we opened. It's absolutely a culinary beer, but man, you just got to have this with pizza.
In our travels, we've definitely discovered breweries that have bear the same name as their location. What are the advantages / hindrances that you guys have noticed?
It is insane how much college football seems to play into that. You cross the state lines into Alabama with something that says Tennessee, and it's as if you offended their mother and their whole entire family.
Oh, yeah.
in some form or fashion.
But the truth is that Tennessee and all the history and the traditions and the culture carry globally. And there's people who seek that out and recognize that. So that's been a benefit. But overall, I think the world has really come into recognizing the importance of its local community and supporting it. And I think that's greatly benefited us because we've been thinking that way from the start.
Let's talk about hippies and cowboys.
Yes.
Hippies and cowboys.
You know, I
next.
needed another IPA.
Yeah. Ask and you shall receive.
We were really enjoying some of these New England IPAs that were coming out, but we just really struggled with the shelf life. And so talking with Matt and the team, and we're like, you know, we want to do one of our own, but we want some shelf life. And so it's got all those notes, the tropical and the citrus, and that you find with lower bitterness.
What kind of hops did you use in this?
It's a secret.
Oh.
I love it. Gentleman on the front, that is our East Tennessee sales rep, Tim Shields. I thought it was funny as soon as we released the beer and we started doing all the promotional marketing behind it, it was 3 weeks and those chops were gone.
I've noticed no cans. Now, is that because of the aluminum shortage?
It's because we don't have a canner.
It's because they don't have a can.
That's why there's no cans, buddy.
Sometimes the answers are just that easy.
They're just that simple sometimes.
But we have one coming.
Yeah, you have such a huge business with the honky tonks in downtown that only want long neck bottles, that even when we do start offering all these in cans, we need to still have a portfolio of both. Oh boy, he's going for it.
Okay, what is this?
This is our barrel-aged quad. It's a big 10% aged in whiskey barrels.
And we're Tennessee Brew Works. George Dickel's been around since 1870, and pretty sure we're the first and only official collaboration with that distillery.
I feel like there's a distinctive like sweetness to this.
little bit.
Almost. Yeah.
10%, by the way.
Yeah, I know. It definitely doesn't taste like it's 10%. That's what makes it dangerous.
It is amazing how you go through the profile and how deceptive a lot of these beers, especially when you get to the higher end, can be.
It's my cigar beer, by the way.
Oh, yeah. I could definitely pair a cigar with this.
Southern Wit, it's a beer that we've been brewing from the very beginning.
It's very light and smooth, but it has phenomenal structure.
We utilize local ingredients with that, with the Tennessee grains that are in there.
But we have this plan. We're really trying to work with the Department of Agriculture and work with the Farm Bureau ultimately. We want to established barley as a material cash crop in Tennessee. And why, as a manufacturer, would you not want to source your raw materials in your own backyard?
Let's talk about the State Park Blonde Ale.
The folks from State Park, they were trying to think of progressive ways to involve the community with what they're doing. And hence we created the State Park Blonde Ale with a portion of proceeds actually going to the State Park's Conservancy.
That's one of those down here, yeah.
Yes, sir.
All that talking made me thirsty.
My palate is cleansed. I need some State Park in me now.
The State Parks came over and sat around the table, and we had discussions with Matt and his team. And
So it's a genuine collaboration.
Oh,
with
yeah.
the state.
Oh, yeah.
absolutely, yeah.
Nice.
Also, this beer was the first beer commercially brewed with all Tennessee grains.
Pretty good, huh?
Oh yeah.
For me, a certain amount of hops seems like it's not very much, and I had to keep toning it back. I finally broke down my ego and threw it away and just brewed it the way that everyone else told me the way they wanted it. And I'm like, oh man, that's good.
Yeah.
I think that's
I
good.
ended up liking it. And
Gosh, I should listen to other people more often.
I'm glad you got that on camera.
That's part of forever now.
Oh,
All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, I got to try your 5-beer burger.
yeah.
That's a must. If you're watching this episode and you're saying to yourself, "Hey there, Willie, where'd you get that fancy-looking hoodie or that schnazzy hat?" Well, I'll tell you, Billy. You can buy them right now on the InHopsWeTrustFilm.com website. Hats, sweatshirts, t-shirts, anything you can imagine. Like the In Hops We Trust lovely hoodie that has my beautiful face on the front and the In Hops We Trust logo right on the back. So check out InHopsWeTrustFilm.com. That's InHopsWeTrustFilm.com.
That was magical.
Now we're sitting down with head chef Alex Lebo. Alex, why don't you tell us about some of the food we're going to sample today? Start with the burger because I'm going to dig into that immediately.
I think you already did dig into it.
I mean, the burger.
Trying to hide that fact. Here we go. There we go.
There are 5 beers implemented throughout the whole build of the burger. The bun has our extra easy ale in it. We've got our caramelized onions, which get our country roots. We got our pickles that gets our cutaway IPA in it. We got our comeback sauce, which is like a spicy gochujang aioli. That has the southern wit in it. The ketchup, which has our basil ramen, which everybody goes crazy for, and very happily for everyone now, we've got it on sale, which is awesome. Even though some people seem to have thought that we made a ketchup beer, even though we absolutely did not.
So yeah, so explain that. What's the difference between a ketchup beer and what you guys do?
Well, obviously making ketchup beer would be a beer that tastes like ketchup, but what we like to do is we like to add the basil ramen in there, which is a saison, to help add that basil flavor into the actual ketchup itself.
I'm going to enjoy this.
Yeah,
right
absolutely.
now.
Please do.
We are very much culinary minded in what we do, and showcasing really good food and how well it pairs with the beer is really important to us.
These ones specifically, we start off by brining the wings in the same liquid that we use to make our pickles, and the ranch also has beer in it.
Damn.
We've got our spent grain falafel. We use the spent grains from the 1927, and I think it really makes it unique and stand out. We definitely want to have things on here that aren't overly complicated. We want to be able to feed everybody.
Well done, Chef.
Yeah, well, thank you very much.
Absolutely. So if you're in Tennessee, how can you pass on an opportunity to come to Tennessee Brew Works? Here they celebrate the culture. They also celebrate making delicious beer and delicious freaking food. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks for having us.
It's been awesome.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Cheers to you.
Cheers.
In hops we trust.
Want another beer? Check out our channel, In Hops We Trust Film. There you'll get all our latest content, including new episodes, tastings, and all things In Hops related. Cheers! In Hops We Trust is an Ambassador Studios production.